Chosen one, listen carefully. This is not a warning, it is a revelation. Every soul that belongs to heaven reaches this moment, when the world grows quiet and your heart begins to tremble between what is seen and unseen. That stillness is not death, it is awakening. You are not losing life, you are returning to life himself. You are not falling into emptiness, you are falling into the arms that shaped you. When the outer light dims, the inner light rises. When all sound fades, heaven begins to speak. Silence on earth is never silence in heaven. As C.S. Lewis wrote in Mere Christianity, God cannot give us happiness and peace apart from himself, because it is not there. There is no such thing. This truth affirms that the stillness you feel is not an absence, but a divine invitation to find true peace in the one who created you. Each breath you take now is a bridge between two realms, trembling not to collapse but to open. Every heartbeat echoes the first breath he gave you. Every shiver of fear is the soul remembering where it came from. The trembling you feel is not punishment, it is preparation. Do not fear the fading of this world, it is the veil being lifted from your eyes. You have heard this call before, in sleepless nights, in tears that no one saw. You thought it was pain, but it was his whisper. You thought you were alone, but his presence was wrapped around you. Now, the same voice calls again. Wake up, see with the eyes of your spirit. Live as the eternal being you are. This is the hour when illusion breaks. This is the breath where heaven enters. The air filling your lungs no longer belongs to the world, it belongs to eternity. You are not dying. You are crossing into the light that has always waited for you. Before the world knew your name, heaven already did. Before your mother felt your heartbeat, the Creator had whispered your purpose into existence. You were not an accident, chosen one. You were not formed by chance or fate. You were spoken into being crafted by a voice that said, "Let there be light." And that same light was placed within you. The first breath that entered your lungs was not just air, it was a fragment of eternity. Every heartbeat since then has carried the memory of that beginning. You were made in the image of the one who breathed stars into existence. That is why no darkness has ever been able to fully drown you. Even in your lowest moments, something inside you refused to die. That was the divine spark, the echo of your first breath. You came from light, and light has never abandoned you. Moses once asked God his name, and the answer was simple, I am. That same presence that parted seas and called life from dust is the one that breathed into your chest. You have carried his imprint all along. Every sigh of exhaustion, every cry for help, every silent prayer, he heard them before you spoke. You were never unseen. You were never forgotten. Each time you fall, that same divine breath lifts you. Each time you break, that same hand reshapes you. You are not clay left unfinished. You are a vessel of purpose. You walk through storms not because God has left you, but because he is refining the strength he placed within you before time began. When you were born, heaven rejoiced, for another reflection of God's image had entered the world. You are not small, you are not powerless. You are proof that heaven still touches earth. You have been marked by divine intention set apart, not for perfection, but for meaning. So breathe again, not as one who lives for survival, but as one who remembers their origin. Your breath is holy. Your life is sacred. You were made in the likeness of eternity itself. The same God who gave you your first breath is waiting to give you your next this time, not for the world, but for heaven. Chosen one, the world has taught you to fear death, but heaven calls it by another name, return. You were never meant to end. You were meant to cross over. Death is not a wall, it is a doorway. It is not darkness, it is transition. Just as a child leaves the womb to see light for the first time, so will your soul leave this temporary shell to behold the light that has no end. Do not tremble when your body weakens. Do not mourn when breath grows thin. The body is dust, it fulfills its purpose, then releases the soul it carried. You were never your bones or your skin. You were always the breath inside them. When this breath pauses, it does not die, it ascends. The moment your eyes close here, they will open to the brilliance of eternity. The instant your heart stops beating, it will begin to beat in rhythm with heaven. You have always sensed that death could not be the final word. That longing you carry, the ache for something beyond, is not imagination. It is memory. It is the soul remembering where it came from. You were born from eternity, and eternity is calling you back. As C.S. Lewis wrote in letters to Malcolm, chiefly on prayer, our souls demand purgatory, don't they? Would it not break the heart if God said we might go on being as we are forever? This insight reveals that your longing for eternity is a divine pull, preparing you for the transition from this world to the eternal light. When Jesus stood before the tomb of Lazarus, he said, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. John 11:25. That promise was not just for Lazarus, it was for you. Every death in the body is an awakening in the spirit. Every ending here is a beginning there. You are not being erased, you are being rewritten. You are not losing your life, you are finding your true form. The shadows of this world cannot hold what was created for everlasting light. Fear belongs to the earth, but you belong to heaven. So when that final breath comes, and it will, do not cling, do not fight. Let go, not as one who is defeated, but as one who is finally being carried home. You are not falling into darkness, you are falling into the arms of the one who has waited since your first breath to bring you back into his light. Chosen one, if you could see how heaven has watched over you, your heart would collapse beneath the weight of love. Every tear you've cried has been counted, every breath of despair has been heard. There was never a single moment when you were truly alone. You mistook silence for absence, but silence was his nearness too vast for words. You thought he had turned away, yet all along he stood closer than your breath. When you wandered off the path, he did not erase your name. When you fell, he did not withdraw his hand. When you doubted, he did not condemn you, he waited. You see, the love of God is not fragile. It does not fade with failure. It endures storms, rebellion, and time. It waits behind closed doors, whispering through guilt and shame. You are still mine. There were moments when you wanted to vanish, when pain made you question why you were chosen at all. Yet every scar you carry became a sacred mark, proof that grace found you again and again. You were never too broken for him, never too late, never too far. His mercy outruns every distance you create. His light knows how to find you in the thickest darkness. Remember Jonah, who fled from the call of God, thinking he could outrun the voice of heaven. Yet even in the depths of the sea, God sent a way of rescue. That same mercy follows you. You cannot sink beyond the reach of his love. You cannot silence a voice that has already written your name in eternity. Each time you curse your reflection, heaven whispers, "But I see my image in you." Each time you hide in shame, he says, "Come out, for I have clothed you in light." Each time you think you've gone too far, he reaches further still. You call your story a mess, but he calls it redemption. You see broken glass. He sees a mosaic of glory. You see your weakness. He sees the place where his strength will rest. His love has not been waiting to punish you, it has been waiting to rebuild you. So, lift your head, chosen one. The love that formed galaxies beats for you. The hands that shaped the stars still cradle your soul. You have not fallen out of his sight, you have fallen deeper into his mercy. His love does not remember your sins, it remembers your design. And even now, that love is rewriting your story with light. Chosen one, The world you see around you is not as solid as it seems. It moves, it fades, it betrays its own illusion. You touch it, hold it, build your dreams upon it, but it slips like sand through your fingers. You chase after names, titles, possessions, and praise, thinking they will define you. But the truth is this: everything visible is temporary. Only what is unseen will last forever. You have been taught to measure your worth by what you can see: the house you build, the job you hold, the faces that applaud or reject you. Yet none of these things can hold the weight of eternity. They shine like morning mist and vanish by noon. You think you are losing when you let them go, but you are gaining what cannot be taken. The world teaches you to grasp, but heaven teaches you to release. Do not confuse the reflection with the light itself. The mirror of this world shows you fragments, distortions, shadows, but not the true form. You are more than what the mirror shows. You are not the mask, not the name, not the fear. You are the eternal spark hidden within, the one that the darkness cannot touch. That is why you have never felt at home here, because you were not created for dust. You were created for glory. When Solomon built his kingdom, he possessed gold, wisdom, and fame beyond any man. Yet in his final days he wrote, "Vanity of vanities, all is vanity." He had seen the truth, that everything under the sun is but a passing shadow. You, too, are being invited to see beyond the sun, to behold what does not fade. Do not build your house on shifting sand. Do not anchor your soul to what trembles. Do not let your identity rest on applause that changes with the wind. The kingdoms of this world rise and fall, but the kingdom within you was built by hands eternal. Every time you chase what fades, you grow weary. Every time you cling to what decays, your soul grows hungry. Every time you let go of the temporary, heaven fills the empty space with peace. Look around. The world shouts for attention, but whispers of eternity hum beneath everything. The sunrise that stirs your chest, the love that outlasts logic, the ache for meaning that no success can silence, these are not earthly feelings. They are reminders that you belong elsewhere. So lift your eyes, chosen one. What you see is passing. What you cannot see is forever. The ground beneath your feet will crumble, but the ground beneath your spirit will never move. The world is a shadow. Eternity is the light, and you were made for the light. Chosen one, you were not sent into this world merely to exist or survive. You were sent to sow. Every breath you take is soil. Every decision you make is a seed. Life on this earth is not a final destination, but a sacred preparation. You are walking through the field of time, planting what will one day bloom in eternity. The world teaches you to chase crowns made of gold, but heaven prepares a crown made of light. Every act of kindness you offer is a seed that never dies. Every truth you speak continues to echo beyond time. Every moment you choose forgiveness over resentment becomes a flower that will blossom in the garden of heaven. These are treasures that cannot rust, cannot rot, and cannot be stolen. You cannot take your wealth into eternity, but you can send your love ahead. You cannot carry fame into the next life, but you can carry faith. Each time you love when it's difficult, you plant eternity. Each time you forgive what seems unforgivable, you plant eternity. Each time you pray when no one sees, you plant eternity. This is why your time here matters. It is not measured by years, but by fruit. What you build with your hands may crumble, but what you build with faith will stand forever. Even the smallest act done with genuine love carries more weight in heaven's measure than 1,000 empty triumphs. Remember the widow from Scripture who gave her last 2 coins while others gave from their excess. Her gift looked small, but in heaven's balance it outweighed them all. That is the law of eternity. It is not the size of what you give, but the heart with which you give it. When you choose honesty over profit, you plant light. When you speak mercy instead of judgment, you plant peace. When you suffer yet still trust, you plant glory. These seeds will one day rise in a realm untouched by decay. Do not be deceived, every seed matters. The world may not notice, but heaven records them all. The whispered prayers, the unseen sacrifices, the quiet moments when you love again after being betrayed, each one takes root in the soil of forever. You are a sower on sacred ground, a builder of invisible kingdoms. Your life is divine agriculture. So keep planting, even when you see no harvest yet, for what is planted in faith will rise in eternity. The work of your hands may fade, but the work of your heart will live beyond time. You were chosen to cultivate forever. Chosen one, not everything that shines is light. The world is filled with glittering illusions, things that promise joy but leave you empty, things that appear bright but pull you into shadow. You live in an age where the false has learned to imitate the holy, where the temporary disguises itself as eternal. You must learn to see with the eyes of your spirit, for not every light leads home. The world teaches you to crave applause, to chase attention, to build your worth from what others say. It tells you that success is measured by wealth, influence, and admiration. But those who chase such lights end up walking in circles, endlessly feeding a hunger that can never be satisfied. These are false suns, brilliant for a moment, then gone. Their glow fades, and the darkness feels heavier than before. Many have sold their peace for power, traded their integrity for image, and found themselves empty in the end. Every time you bow to pride, the false light grows stronger. Every time you worship comfort instead of truth, the false light blinds you. Every time you choose appearance over authenticity, the false light steals a piece of your soul. You were not made to serve the counterfeit. You were made to reflect the true light, the light that cannot be switched off by human hands. The Apostle Paul once wrote, "Even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light." 2 Corinthians 11:14. He understood that deception often wears beauty. Evil does not come dressed in darkness. It comes clothed in what seems good, appealing, and reasonable. That is why discernment is your shield. The world's praise is loud, but its love is conditional. The moment you stop pleasing it, it turns against you. Its promises are smoke, its rewards dust. What it calls freedom is often another kind of prison. Many call success what heaven calls loss. Many call gain what heaven calls decay. The world sells imitation joy because it cannot produce real peace. You will notice the false light most clearly when you begin to follow the truth. Suddenly, distractions multiply. Temptations grow louder. Doubt creeps in, whispering, "Stay where it's easy." But you were not chosen for the easy. You were chosen for eternity. The battle between truth and imitation is fought in silence, not spectacle in the secret decisions of your heart. When the false light offers comfort, choose conviction. When the false light flatters, choose humility. When the false light invites you to blend in, choose to stand apart. You are not called to shine like the world, you are called to glow from within. Remember this, everything that glitters will fade, but what glows from heaven endures. False light burns quickly and dies in smoke. True light burns slowly and reveals eternity. The closer you draw to the real light, the more the false will expose itself. So keep your eyes fixed above the horizon. The world's glow is dying, but the light of God is rising in you. Chosen one, heaven is not waiting at the end of your life. It begins the moment you decide to live for it. Eternal life does not start after your last breath. It starts the moment your heart turns toward the light. You are not chosen to simply escape the world, but to reveal heaven within it. Every act of love, every prayer whispered in faith, every moment you choose truth over ease, all of it builds eternity around you even now. You have spent years trying to belong here, but your spirit has always known you are not from this place. The world is a guest house, not a home. You walk through it, you serve within it, you learn from it, but your citizenship is elsewhere. the ache you feel when you look at the sky, the longing that stirs when the world disappoints you, the quiet tears that fall when no one understands you, these are not weaknesses. They are proof of your origin. They are heaven reminding you that you belong to it. Do not wait for a perfect day to begin living for the kingdom. The moment is now. When you choose love instead of bitterness, you open heaven. When you forgive the unforgivable, you breathe eternity. When you stand in truth, though it costs you, heaven stands beside you. Each of these small acts is a declaration. I live for what will not fade. Jesus said, "Do not store up treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, but store up treasures in heaven." Matthew 6:19-20. These treasures are not made of gold or silver. They are made of choices, faith, mercy, obedience, courage. The world cannot see them, but heaven does. Heaven counts differently. You have been told to strive for success, but God calls you to significance. Success dies with applause. Significance echoes through eternity. The world measures by numbers. Heaven measures by love. Each time you lift someone who has fallen, you build heaven. Each time you pray for one who hurt you, you open their gates a little wider. Every time you forgive, heaven expands. Every time you give, heaven rejoices. Every time you trust again after loss, heaven sings. Do not be discouraged when others mock your faith or call your obedience weakness. They are chasing smoke while you are planting stars. Let them build their kingdoms of sand. Yours is being built with light. The rewards of heaven cannot be counted, but they can be felt in peace that no storm can shake, in joy that no shadow can steal. So live for what endures, chosen one. Live for heaven. Let your words carry their fragrance. Let your steps leave their trace. You were not chosen to fit into the world. You were chosen to reveal what comes after it. And as you do, the veil between heaven and earth grows thinner, until one day you will walk fully into the kingdom you've already begun to build with every faithful breath. Chosen one, everything you have seen in this world is passing. Seasons fade, faces age, and even the stars will one day burn out, but the promise of God does not fade. His light is not bound by time. It is eternal, unshaken, and waiting for you. You were never made to end. You were made to continue transformed, renewed, made whole in the light that never dies. The body will return to dust, but the soul, breathed by heaven, will rise. There will come a moment when your eyes close for the last time in this world, and in the same instant, they will open to a brilliance no human sight can endure. The air you once breathed will be replaced by glory. The limits of time will fall away, and you will finally see him not as a story, not as a distant faith, but as the living presence that has followed you through every chapter. Every tear you ever cried, every loss you endured, every moment of silence will be remembered not to bring pain, but to reveal purpose. Nothing was wasted. Every wound will become light. Every sorrow will turn into song. You have feared the unknown, but heaven has never been unknown to your soul. It has whispered to you through beauty, through longing, through the quiet pull that has always urged you upward. That whisper was the promise, the covenant written into your being before your first breath. God said, "I have loved you with an everlasting love." Jeremiah 30, 1-3. His love is not fragile, not temporary, not conditional. It does not depend on your strength. It depends only on him. Think of the thief on the cross beside Jesus, broken, guilty, condemned, yet one sentence of faith changed everything. "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." And the reply was immediate. "Today you will be with me in paradise." That is the eternal promise, mercy that outruns time, grace that restores what death has taken. This world teaches you to fear endings, but heaven calls them beginnings. The grave is not a wall, it is a door. Death is not defeat, it is deliverance. You are not losing life, you are entering fullness. What awaits you is not silence but music, not emptiness but embrace. You will see colors no eye has seen, hear songs no ear has heard, and feel joy that no words can contain. Chosen one, lift your gaze beyond the horizon. The light of this world flickers, but the light within you, his light will never go out. You are not moving toward darkness. You are moving toward home. The eternal promise is not a dream. It is your destiny. And when the final breath comes, you will not be falling. You will be rising into the arms of the everlasting light that has loved you all along. The journey is reaching its end. Yet in heaven's language, every ending is only the beginning of something eternal. You have walked through the valleys of silence, through storms that sought to break you, through nights that whispered you were alone. And yet, you stand wounded but awake, shaken but unbroken, refined like gold that has passed through fire. You have endured what others could not, because you were never meant to live an ordinary story. You were chosen to walk the thin line between heaven and earth, and to return carrying light. This is the prayer of return, the covenant between your soul and the one who breathed it into being. It is not a ritual of words, but a renewal of belonging. When you pray, do not rush. Every word is a seed. Every breath is an offering. Every heartbeat is worship. Let your spirit speak, even when your voice trembles. Father of light, I return to you not as one who never failed, but as one who finally understands why mercy exists. I bring you my fears, my guilt, my exhaustion. I bring you the ashes of everything I tried to build without you. You have seen my secret struggles, my hidden tears, my restless thoughts, and yet you call me by name. You whisper, "You are mine." And I answer, "I am yours." No darkness can erase this covenant. No distance can undo it. You are the first breath that began my life, and the light that will complete it. I release my fear of death, my shame of failure, and my pride of control. They no longer define me. I trade them for peace, for surrender, for your will. Lord, teach me to walk as one who belongs to eternity. Let my words carry heaven's weight. Let my hands plant kindness that outlives me. Let my heart be a bridge between your kingdom and this passing world. When I fall, remind me that your mercy is wider than my failure. When I grow weary, remind me that your presence is nearer than breath. When I forget who I am, remind me that you never have. I choose faith when I cannot see. I choose love when I am hurt. I choose forgiveness when I am forgotten. I choose light even when darkness feels louder. Father, thank you for choosing me not because I am perfect, but because I am willing. I no longer chase what fades or fear what ends. I anchor my soul in what cannot die. Let your spirit guide my every step. Let my life echo your truth. Let my final breath here be the first in eternity. For it is written, "Those who trust in the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles." Isaiah 40-31. So lift me higher, beyond regret, beyond fear, beyond time itself. Lift me into the promise that was written before the stars were born. I am ready, ready to live fully, love deeply, and shine boldly. Ready to stand between heaven and earth and declare that light has already won. Ready to return to the one who made me, and to the purpose that has never died. I am not forgotten. I am sealed in light. My story does not end in silence. It ends in song. And as I rise, I remember, the same God who gave me my first breath waits to give me my eternal one. The covenant is complete. You in me, and I in you forever.